In the summer of 1966, while the world's eyes were on England, the cradle of football, the Mexican national team wrote a proud and moving chapter. Led by a generation of talented players, they showcased a solid defensive style of play, yet also delivered moments of fiery attack, delighting fans at hallowed stadiums like Wembley. That year, Mexico not only achieved professional success by holding France and Uruguay to draws, but also became an immortal part of history, thanks to the presence of living legends. But behind those glorious moments were players with very different destinies. 60 years have passed, and time has etched different marks on their lives. Some have continued to conquer new heights on the coaching bench, some have chosen a quiet path after retirement, and some have had to end their journey in tragedy. Let's look back at the tumultuous journey of the players who formed the soul of Mexico's golden generation. Enrique Borja was only 20 years old at the time, but he had already shown the qualities of an instinctive killer in the penalty box. With his flowing hair and graceful running style, Borja was the brightest hope in the attack. His performance at the age of 20 was brilliant when he scored the historic goal against the French national team at Wembley Stadium. That moment was not just a goal. It was a confirmation of a young talent before the world. After that fiery tournament, Borja's career entered a chapter of upheaval and glory. He became the focus of the most controversial transfer of the time when he left Pumas for Club America. A move that Borja initially strongly opposed due to his loyalty, but which later transformed him into the greatest idol in the club's history with 3 consecutive top scorer titles. Borja's life off the pitch is a journey of intellect. After retiring, he didn't choose to dwell on his past glory, but instead ventured into business and football management, serving as president of the Mexican Football Federation and the Necaxa Club. He's also known as a talented commentator, inspiring millions of Latin American viewers through television. Borja's personal life is exemplary. He has a stable marriage and always knows how to maintain a peaceful haven for his family amidst the media frenzy. Most thought-provoking is the strange connection between his role as a finishing man on the field and a leader off the pitch. On the field, he is quick and decisive. Off the field, he is calm and profound. Today at 79, Enrique Borja continues to play the role of an experienced mentor and a highly respected spiritual ambassador. The flame of passion within him has never died out, and every step he takes in sporting events is still followed by fans with the utmost respect for a living legend. Antonio Carvajal entered his 5th World Cup at the age of 37, a number considered unimaginable for a goalkeeper at the time. El Cinco Copas was then the sole and spiritual father of the entire team. His performance, especially the final clean sheet against Uruguay, demonstrated exceptional composure and remarkable calmness. He wasn't just guarding a team, he was guarding the pride of an entire nation. After his success in England, Carvajal's career became intertwined with Lyon, where he became a symbol of dedication. He rejected offers from bigger clubs to stay and build up football in his homeland, later transitioning to a coaching career with over 1,000 matches on the sidelines. But what people remember most about Carvajal is his truly compassionate life after the spotlight faded. He dedicated half a century to charitable work, directly helping struggling teenagers overcome their struggles at the La Búsqueda Center. He lived a simple, modest life with his family, always believing that football was merely a means of character development. It seems the image of a goalkeeper strangely intertwined with his life. On the field, he protected the goal. Off the field, he protected lost souls. He always lived by the philosophy, giving is receiving more. However, that glorious and humane journey came to a quiet end. On May 9, 2023, Antonio Carvajal passed away at the age of 93 due to health complications of old age. His passing left a huge void in the hearts of fans worldwide. The legacy he left behind is not just a collection of records, but also a thought-provoking life story about sacrifice and boundless compassion. Gustavo Peña, nicknamed El Halcón, the Falcon, was the most solid rock in Mexico's defense in 1966. At the age of 23, he was entrusted with the captain's armband, leading his senior teammates to victory at Wembley. With his aggressive playing style, brilliant situational awareness, and fierce fighting spirit, Peña was the unsung hero behind El Tri's successes. His performance in that tournament was not only a series of spectacular saves, but also a demonstration of the character of a true leader on the field. After the 1966 World Cup, Peña's career continued to flourish, culminating in his historic penalty goal that sent Mexico into the quarter-finals of the 1970 World Cup. He was an irreplaceable pillar of Cruz Azul in Monterrey, winning many valuable titles. Peña's personal life was an example of professionalism and integrity. He was a private man, devoted to his wife and children, and always maintained a healthy and disciplined lifestyle. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching, but dedicated more time to his family and social activities in his hometown. It's thought-provoking that the image of a powerful falcon on the field seemed to be a complete contrast to his true personality off the field. A gentle, calm, and very humble man. He always believed that glory on the field was temporary, while character was eternal. However, that proud journey came to a halt after a long battle with illness. On January 19, 2021, Gustavo Peña passed away at the age of 78 due to health complications related to diabetes. The passing of the legendary captain has left an immeasurable sadness in Mexican football, but the image of El Halcón spreading his wings to protect the goal will forever live on in the hearts of the fans. At 23, Aaron Padilla was the heart of the attacking wing, with his dazzling dribbling and renowned bicycle technique. He wasn't just a pure winger, he was an artist on the pitch, capable of transforming deadlock situations into explosive moments. Padilla's performances in England brilliantly showcased the essence of Mexican football, skillful, agile, and full of finesse. Following his World Cup success, he became an icon of Pumas UNAM and achieved great success at his clubs. Padilla's career didn't end there. He was also a talented football manager, having served as the president of the refereeing committee of the Mexican Football Federation. Padilla's personal life was intertwined with active social activism. He was an outspoken, straightforward man who always fought for fairness in football. He had a happy family and always knew how to instill a passion for the sport in his children. The image of an artist always finding a way out between defenders on the field seemed to have manifested itself in his life off the field, helping him skillfully navigate the complexities of football management. He lived a brilliant and dedicated life, always respected by his colleagues and subordinates. However, that glorious journey came to a sudden and painful end amidst the storms of the times. On June 14, 2020, Aaron Padilla passed away at the age of 77 due to complications from COVID-19. His death during a time of global upheaval left a huge void, but his legacy of mesmerizing footwork will forever remain a beautiful chapter in football history. Ignacio Calderón, affectionately known as Nacho, was a talented young goalkeeper for Mexico in 1966 at the young age of 22. His lightning-fast reflexes and handsome movie star looks made him an idol for millions of fans. At that World Cup, Nacho displayed remarkable composure, starting in the two high-pressure opening matches against France and England. His brilliant performance demonstrated a great generational shift in Mexican goalkeepers. After the tournament, Calderón's career flourished at Chivas de Guadalajara and later at Cruz Azul, where he won numerous national championships and became Mexico's most expensive goalkeeper at the time. Calderón's personal life has always been vibrant. After retiring from football, he achieved success in business and occasionally appeared on television as a football ambassador. He's a charming, cheerful man who always maintains a dignified demeanor. The contrast between his role as a goalkeeper, constantly facing intense pressure on the field, and his optimistic, carefree personality off the field is what makes him so appealing. He always knows how to balance the glamour of a star with the simplicity of a family man. Today, at 82 years old, Ignacio Calderón is still living a peaceful and healthy life, surrounded by his children and grandchildren. Although no longer between the two goalposts, he still follows every match of the national team with keen eyes, and whenever he appears in public, he still exudes the charm of a golden generation from the past. Salvador Reyes, nicknamed Chava, was the most illustrious name in Mexican football in the 1960s. At the age of 29, at the 1966 World Cup, he brought the seasoned experience and superb goal-scoring ability of a legend to Chivas. Although he didn't score in the tournament, his influence on the team's playing style was immense. Chava Reyes was the soul of the Campeonísimo era, helping Chivas dominate Mexican football for a decade. After his success in England, he continued to contribute to football in various roles, from player to coach, and consistently held the position of the club's greatest goalscorer in history for decades. Reyes' life outside of football was a story of loyalty and humility. He lived an exemplary life, devoted much time to his family, and was always an inspiration to young players. One of his most memorable moments was when, at the age of 71, he signed a professional contract with Chivas and played a 50-second match as a tribute to the fans, an unprecedented act in football history. What is most thought-provoking is the connection between a warrior always hungry for victory on the field and a kind, pure soul off the field. He lived and breathed football until his very last moments. However, that brilliant journey came to an end after a tenacious battle. On December 29, 2012, Salvador Reyes passed away at the age of 76 from colon cancer. His passing has left a deep sadness in Mexican football, but the legacy of an immortal Chava will forever live on in the hearts of every Chivas fan. Isidoro Chololo Diaz at the 1966 World Cup was a versatile midfielder, a silent hero linking defense and attack at the age of 28. He didn't possess the flashy dribbling of Padilla or Borja, but his stamina and sharp tactical vision were the foundation of Mexico's playing style. Diaz's performance in England demonstrated the maturity and composure of a player who had experienced many high-level matches. After the tournament, he continued to be a mainstay of Chivas de Guadalajara, making important contributions to the team's consecutive championships. His career was a symphony of stability and dedication. Diaz's personal life was very simple. He lived a life separate from the hustle and bustle of the media, focusing on his small business and community activities in his hometown. He was known for his emotional nature and close relationships with his former teammates. It seems that the image of a diligent midfielder on the field strangely reflected his real life, a man who quietly strived to build his own happiness without seeking the adoration of the crowd. He lived a genuine, unpretentious life and always upheld the philosophy, "Do more than you say." Today, at 87 years old, Isidoro Diaz still lives a peaceful life with his family in Mexico. Although his legs are weary from years of competition, the spirit of a steely midfielder is still evident in the way he talks about football, and he continues to be a living testament to a proud golden generation. Jesus Del Muro was a brilliant fullback with a forward-thinking footballing mind at the age of 28. With his superb game-reading ability and cool-headed interceptions, he transformed Mexico's defense into an impenetrable wall at that tournament. Del Muro's performance showcased the finesse and composure of a player who had participated in 3 consecutive World Cups. Following his success in England, his career continued to flourish at major clubs like Atlas and Cruz Azul, before he transitioned to a highly successful coaching career, leading numerous national teams and youth teams. Jesus del Muro's life was a long journey dedicated to researching and teaching football. He was a true football intellectual, constantly seeking new training methods to develop young talent. Off the field, he was a serious, disciplined man, yet incredibly compassionate towards his students. He lived a clean life, free from scandals, and was always respected by his colleagues for his profound knowledge. The image of a calm, composed center back, always in control of every situation on the field, perfectly reflected his life. He faced life's challenges with steadfastness and intelligence. However, that glorious and dedicated journey came to an end. On October 3, 2022, Jesus del Muro passed away at the age of 84. His passing took with him a vast treasure trove of football experience, leaving a legacy of modern defensive thinking for future generations. At the age of 22, Magdaleno Mercado was an inexhaustible source of energy in Mexico's midfield at the 1966 World Cup. With his boundless stamina and all-around style of play, he tirelessly supplied the ball and supported the defense throughout the matches at Wembley. Mercado's performance showcased the passion of youth and an ironclad discipline. After the tournament, he became a legend at Atlas, where he spent most of his career, and one of the most beloved midfielders thanks to his dedicated and tireless playing style. Mercado's everyday life was simple and closely tied to the city of Guadalajara. After retiring, he devoted himself to youth training, quietly contributing to the development of local football. He lived a quiet life, finding happiness in the simple things with his family and close friends. The image of a lung that never stopped beating on the pitch seems to accurately reflect his persistent efforts in real life. A man who always worked silently to contribute to the common good. He lived sincerely, simply, and always upheld his philosophy, giving his all for his passion. However, that quiet and meaningful journey has come to an end. On March 6, 2020, Magdaleno Mercado passed away at the age of 76. His passing left a deep sadness for Atlas Club fans, but his courageous fighting spirit will forever remain a memorable chapter in history. Javier Chalo Fregoso was a striker with exceptional cunning and game-changing ability for Mexico in 1966 at the age of 24. He didn't possess a tall physique, but had incredibly skillful footwork and a keen eye for goal. At the tournament in England, Fregoso was a crucial piece in Mexico's explosive and unpredictable attack. After the World Cup, his career flourished at Club America, where he scored incredible goals and went down in history as one of the best strikers of his generation. One of his greatest moments was his goal against Brazil at the Maracana Stadium in 1968. Fregoso's personal life was a series of brilliant yet peaceful days after leaving the pitch. He was a cheerful man, always bringing laughter to those around him and known for his generous nature. After retiring, he participated in many social activities and coached young players, always striving to preserve the romantic attacking football style. The image of a hero always appearing at the right moment to score fateful goals seemed to permeate his life. He always knew how to create joy and positivity in his life. However, that brilliant journey came to a sad end. On December 28, 2010, Javier Fregoso passed away at the age of 72. His passing took away a true artist from Mexican football, but his spectacular goals will forever remain a precious legacy, inspiring generations of strikers to come. Guillermo Hernandez, nicknamed El Campeón, the champion, was one of Mexico's most enduring right-backs at the 1966 World Cup at the age of 23. With his disciplined, solid playing style and ability to seamlessly support attacks, he was a reliable choice on the wing. His performances in England demonstrated the maturity and high sense of responsibility of a young player. After the tournament, Hernandez's career flourished at clubs such as Atlas and Club America, winning numerous important titles and becoming one of the most consistent defenders in the history of Mexican football. Hernandez's everyday life was intertwined with community sports activities. He lived a life of integrity, valuing his children's education and physical training. After retiring, he transitioned to coaching and management, always maintaining a dignified and professional demeanor. The image of a defender always ensuring safety on the field seems to accurately reflect his true character off the field. A reliable man, a solid pillar of his family. He lived a peaceful life, always knowing how to balance the glory of the past with the tranquility of the present. Today, at the age of 83, Guillermo Hernandez is still living a healthy and sharp life in Mexico. Although no longer directly involved in top-level football, he remains a symbol of perseverance and resilience, and whenever he appears, he is still respectfully called El Campeón by his fans. Gabriel Núñez is a central defender with an incredibly solid and reliable playing style at the age of 24. He provided excellent support for Captain Gustavo Peña, forming a formidable central defensive partnership that helped Mexico withstand the relentless attacks at Wembley. Núñez's performance demonstrated silent sacrifice and superb teamwork. After the World Cup, his career continued with years of dedication to Zacatepec, where he became a legend and a symbol of loyalty. Gabriel Núñez's personal life was very private and quiet. After retiring, he chose to live away from the spotlight, focusing on his small business and caring for his family. He was a man of few words, always working diligently and avoiding controversy. It seems the image of a quiet defender behind all the glory on the field reflected his life off the field. A happy man with tranquility and simplicity. He lived a genuine, unpretentious life and always maintained a calm demeanor in the face of time's vicissitudes. However, that quiet journey came to an end in the final days of the year. On November 11th, 2021, Gabriel Núñez passed away at the age of 79. His passing, though not publicized, left immeasurable sorrow for those who loved the dedicated playing style of a silent hero. Arturo Charas, also known by the respectful nickname El Curita, the pastor, was one of the greatest right-backs in Chivas' history and a reliable defensive anchor for Mexico at the 1966 World Cup at the age of 29. With his intelligent, elegant, and highly effective style of play, he frustrated opposing attackers with his remarkable composure. Chair's performances in England demonstrated the finesse and character of a great player, one who could control the game without resorting to excessive brute force. After the tournament, he became part of the great Campeonísimo generation, winning numerous national championships with Chivas. Chair's everyday life was an example of morality and humility. He lived a life of integrity, dedicating much of his time to charitable activities and teaching football to underprivileged children. He was loved not only for his talent, but also for his warm and compassionate heart. The image of a defender who played with a cool head and a passionate heart seemed to have become a reality in his life. He was always a mediator and a source of spiritual support for his family and community. After retiring, he lived a quiet life in Guadalajara, rejecting the glitz and glamour to choose peace with his family. However, that virtuous journey had to come to an end. On June 18, 2020, Arturo Charas passed away at the age of 83. The passing of the pastor left an irreplaceable void in the hearts of Chivas fans, but his noble character will forever be a beacon of light for future generations.